I thought the worst part of the breakup was over. The arguments had stopped. The silence had settled. But then 3 weeks after she left, my phone rang at 12:17 a.m. It wasn't her. It was her best friend. And what she told me that night changed everything I thought I knew about my relationship. 3 weeks had passed since the breakup. Not the dramatic kind, no screaming, no slammed doors. Just a quiet sentence delivered across the kitchen table. I don't feel like myself anymore. That was it. No cheating accusation. No big betrayal. Just confusion wrapped in calm words. She packed a suitcase, left her coffee mug in the sink, and walked out like she'd already mourned us weeks before I even knew something was wrong. The apartment felt different after that. Too quiet. Too clean. Like the walls were holding their breath. I tried to stay busy, work, gym, late dinners, but the nights were the worst. Especially midnight. That are where your mind starts replaying everything you missed. What signs did I ignore? What could I have said differently? Every night was the same loop of self-doubt. That night, I was half asleep on the couch. The television glowed softly, volume low. I checked my phone more out of habit than hope. Then it rang. And no number. I almost ignored it. Part of me was tired of hoping it was her, and another part was terrified it might be. But something told me not to let it go to voicemail. "Hello," I said, my voice a little rough. For a moment, there was just silence. Then a shaky breath. "Hi, it's me. Emily, her best friend. The one who always stayed neutral. The one who never picked sides." My mind raced. Was something wrong? Did she need help? "What's wrong?" I asked, my voice suddenly sharp with concern. She hesitated. "I shouldn't be calling you," she said. "But I can't sleep. And I don't know who else to talk to." The clock on the cable box read 12:17 a.m. An hour for emergencies and confessions. I had a feeling this was going to be the latter. She told me she was sitting in her car, parked outside her apartment. Engine off. Lights out. Just surrounded by the quiet darkness. "I keep replaying everything," she said, her voice small. "And I feel like I've been lying to you and to myself." My heart started racing. Lying? About what? My mind immediately jumped to the worst-case scenarios. "About what?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. There was a pause long enough to feel heavy, like the air itself was thick with unspoken words. "She didn't leave because she was confused," Emily said quietly. "She left because she was already planning something else." My chest tightened. It felt like the air had been knocked out of me. Emily explained that weeks before the breakup, my ex had been talking to someone else. Not physically cheating, at least not yet. But emotionally. It started with late-night messages she tried to hide. It turned into deleted texts. Then there were long walks that didn't make sense, where she'd come back distant and cold. She kept telling herself it wasn't cheating, Emily said. She even convinced herself it was just a friendship. But she knew it was wrong. I didn't want to hear it. But I couldn't hang up either. It was like watching a car crash in slow motion. You know, you should look away, but you're frozen. She was scared to tell you the truth, Emily continued. Not because you'd be angry, but because you'd be calm. And that would make her feel worse. That sentence hit harder than any accusation of infidelity. The idea that my compassion was what she feared. That was a new kind of pain. Emily admitted something else then, her voice almost a whisper. She asked me to lie for her, she said. To tell people she just needed space, to make it sound clean and noble. And I did it. I leaned back against the couch, staring at the ceiling, the whole narrative of our breakup rewriting itself in my head. All those nights I blamed myself. All those moments I wondered what I did wrong, what I could have done better. And the truth was I was never the problem she was running from. She was running from herself. After a few moments of heavy silence, I finally found my voice. "So, why are you telling me this now?" I asked. It was a fair question. Why break the silence after 3 weeks of letting me believe a lie? Emily's voice cracked. "Because she's not happy," she said. The fantasy fell apart. "And I can't keep pretending this was the right thing." Emily told me my ex had already started doubting her decision. The excitement of the new connection had faded, and the cold, hard reality had set in. The grass wasn't greener. It was just different dirt. "She misses the way you made her feel safe," Emily said. "She misses the quiet nights, the easy laughter. But she doesn't know how to face you after everything she's done." I felt something unexpected then. Not the searing anger I thought I would feel. Not the vindictive relief of being proven right. Just clarity. A strange, quiet calm settled over me. Emily took a deep breath, and I could hear her bracing herself. "She wants to know if you talked to her," she said. "Just once. She thinks if she can explain." Maybe her voice trailed off. The room felt completely still. For 3 weeks, I had imagined that moment. Rehearsed conversations in my head while I was in the shower, driving to work, lying in bed. I thought about what I'd say if she ever reached out, what I'd demand to know. And now that the moment was here, I realized something profound. "I don't need answers anymore," I said. My own voice surprised me with its firmness. Emily went quiet. "I've already made peace with what happened," I continued. "Hearing the truth helps, but reopening the wound won't heal it. It'll just make it bleed again." I wasn't saying it to be cruel. I was saying it because, for the first time, it was true. Emily apologized. Not for my ex. For herself. "I'm sorry," she said, her voice filled with regret. "For staying silent. For choosing comfort over honesty." I told her something I didn't even know I believed until the words came out of my mouth. "Sometimes the truth comes too late to fix things," I said. "But it still teaches you what you deserve next." And I think I deserve someone who doesn't need a backup plan. She thanked me for answering the call. For listening without yelling. Then the line went dead, leaving me in the silence of my apartment once more. But this time, the silence was different. The next morning, sunlight filled the apartment. For the first time since she left, it didn't feel heavy or mocking. It felt warm. I made coffee, opened the windows, and let the fresh air in. I picked up my phone, went to my notes, and deleted a long, rambling draft message I'd been holding onto for weeks, a message I now knew I would never send. I didn't feel broken anymore. I didn't feel angry. I felt finished. 3 weeks after the breakup, her best friend called me at midnight. Not to fix things. Not to bring her back. But to tell the truth. And sometimes, that truth isn't about getting closure with them. It's about getting closure with yourself. If you've ever received a call that changed how you saw your past, you're not alone. The journey of healing is complex, and it rarely follows a straight line. If this story resonated with you, like, subscribe, and share, because sometimes the hardest chapters don't end with answers, they end with acceptance. Thanks for watching.